Let's look at two-way switches. The aim is to understand the benefit of two-way switches, to understand how two-way switches work, to draw the circuit for a two-way switch. One-way switches are just on or off. Here's an example of a one-way switch that you've used in school. This is a temporary one-way switch as it allows electricity to flow when it is pressed, closed circuit. The spring steel causes it to bounce open again. You can also have one-way switches that are more permanent, that they have a rocker mechanism which keeps the circuit open or closed, allowing electricity to flow. And what you do is you take your wire from the source and you connect it to the wire in part on the back of the switch, and then you take that wire and a new wire out again from the back of the switch and connect it to your lights or whatnot. Two-way switches, well, they work by flicking the button. You are selecting the path. A wire is fastened into the COM at the back of the switch. Yeah. And a wire is taken from the L1 to the lights. Enclosed in the switch, the black bit at the back, is the wiring that you can't actually see. So in this section here, what I'm saying is in this black section here, there is wiring that's in there that you cannot see from this diagram. But I'm going to explain how this works and how a two-way switch allows you to select the path that electricity flows. Here I've shown you the internal workings. When not pressed, in this case, the electricity can flow down path 1, which is L1. But when pressed, the path of electricity changes and can now flow down L2 or path 2. So a two-way switch, like you can see here, is where when you press it, you are actually selecting the path where electricity will flow. So really, you could decide with this type of switch where you want electricity to flow. An application of using a two-way switch has been shown. With a two-way switch, you can turn the light at the top of a staircase, up here, on or off, either here, upstairs, or here, downstairs. The benefit of this for you is that if you turn the light on when you are upstairs and you go downstairs, you don't need to run back upstairs to turn that light off again. You would have had to have done that with a one-way switch, and that would have been not very, it wouldn't have been very good, would it? So how does this work? Well, what I've got here is a diagram that I've drawn to show you. You've got an electricity source, you've got your upstairs light bulb here, you have your upstairs switch, and you've got your downstairs switch. And this section here between the two orange bars is the wiring that is found behind your wall. So right now, have a look at this circuit. Follow it round with your finger. Is the electricity making a complete loop? Is it coming out of, let's just say, this direction here? Is it coming out of this direction here and looping all the way around, back again? Well, hopefully you realise that no, there's a bit of a problem here. There is a gap here and there is a gap here. The path is not complete, and so because the path is not complete, the light bulb cannot light up. So when you arrive at the switch, it is dark and the light is off. The circuit is described as being open. There is no complete path for the electricity to flow. When you press a switch upstairs, what happens? Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to change this switch here. We are going to select a new path. So what do you think is going to happen to the electricity when we switch this switch? Well, hopefully you realise that we have a complete path now. See, there's the switch being pressed, and now we have a complete path for the electricity to flow. The electricity, just to keep it the same as before, say it's coming out that side, it can go round there, it can go down there, it can go up here, and eventually it can go back again after going through the light bulb, lighting it up. So we have got a closed circuit. The electricity can now flow around that circuit and the bulb lights up. So the circuit is closed and the electricity can flow, so the light is switched on. Okay, so you go downstairs. What is going to happen to the circuit when you press the downstairs button? So what we're going to do is we're going to change the direction here, like so. Okay, so what do you think is going to happen? Well, the path is going to be broken. And because the path is broken, the electricity cannot flow. It would go round here, it would go up in that direction, it would go along, but the problem is that we have now got a gap, and so therefore the electricity cannot flow and the light bulb goes off. The circuit is described as open again. The electricity does not have a complete path, and so the light goes back off. I would like you to check your understanding by answering the question that I've provided in class notebook.